and welcome again to Mark's Fretboard Roadmap Series. Here to help you get better on guitar. And this is part 6, just another way of translating. Well, now we're taking the pattern that we learned, our roadmap here. Now that we're understanding how to get across the fretboard in a few different directions, as seen on the other videos, let's start getting musical with this pattern and start understanding what this means in a way that can translate to you making a ton of different musical sounds that you couldn't reproduce just using a minor pentatonic scale. Okay, let's start out like this. Here we have drawn today a piano keyboard, and for this part of the video, it's necessary for you, the watcher out there in YouTube Watcherland, to know a little bit about music theory. So if this starts drawing a blank to you, you need to maybe step back from these lessons and understand the C major scale and do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and some basic things of that nature. As soon as things don't make sense, you'll need one of those basic lessons, and that stuff's found everywhere on the net. So not necessary here for me to spend your time on some on the basics there that you'll need to know. But if you understand that a piano is tuned to C, and you understand kind of the reasoning behind that, here we go. The white keys on a piano: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Let's hear that. Here we go. And you'll notice that in the key here of C, how it's set up, what happens is there's two white keys that are always next to each other. You notice the two white keys are always the exact same notes: B, C, E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C, E, F. If you read anything in my blog that this is connected with, early on, you heard me talking about a BCEF square, because when I was starting to understand what I was getting into here, I realized that this pattern is set up in a square on the guitar. Your BCEF square. So considering the key is C, starts in the square, this is a pretty handy little marker box for when you need to jump into any key anytime on the fretboard. Considering just standard major for now, eventually this information will help you get to any mode anytime, modes being found inside of this major scale, but that's a future lesson for you. For right now, you need to understand just the basics. And let's change this box right here. So let's draw it right here. I'm going to put it right here on the fretboard. To make the key of C, well, we need the C here, the B here, the E here, and the F here. And if we look at our fretboard, A, skip a note, B, and C. So what do you know? Draw my box in the wrong spot. But that's why sticking the pencil really works good. Okay. Let's do that a little better. If we draw our box there, notice on top of these keys C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I actually put an R for here, for root. Let's consider C the root a C major scale, because it's the root of the C major scale. And if you played all these white keys while holding a C major chord down below on the piano, you are most indefinitely playing in quite blank C major. Pretty basic, but probably a little more musical than just a little more dimensional than minor pentatonic. So let's put an R right here. What that means is, anytime we need to find any scale beyond the C major scale. Let's say we want G major or A major, or someone says, hey man, this song's in E major, can you find it? Do you know how to play an E major scale? The easiest thing in the world to do is take this square, take that R, and put it on an E note. So if we have an E at the 12th fret, this square would go here, R goes here, and we can begin building our scale from there, since we know things like 4 notes stretch out of here, and 4 notes stretch out of here, and 3 notes and 3 notes, and then from those 3 notes you have that 3 note pattern that I showed you in video 5, and on and on and on from there. So that's really quickly, before I even draw anything, the key to getting anywhere anytime on the guitar. But let's move on with this. Along with the root, instead of going B, C, E, F and doing all the whole notes here, I don't want to lock you into the C major scale on the fretboard. If you know it by all the intervals, know a C is the 1, the D is the 2, E is the 3, the F is the 4, G is the 5th, A is the 6th, D is the 7th of a C major scale. Those are all the intervals. If you make this as an interval chart, it's really, really helpful. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how this all works out. 7R. And in a future lesson, we're going to put some other information in these boxes that's going to just totally unleash everything for you on the fretboard. But here goes with this. R, 7, and 3, and 4. And funny thing is, remember on our 4, 3, 3, 4 box? Does that look familiar? 3 notes out that way, 4 notes out that way. Pretty cool. And if you redraw an R, that's kind of a 4. 4 notes out that way. Well, no, actually that's wrong. I just screwed that up. Fail. So take that back. R, you take the top of the R, turn it that way, you have a 3. So 3 notes, 3 notes, 4 notes. You could reshape a 7 into 4, but you don't have to get that drastic in your thinking. Just stick with this right now. So what we've done here, let's do some math. We've just basically mapped out 4 different notes on the guitar. We have this note, we have this note, this note, and this note. How many notes does that leave us? 4 from 7 is 1, 2, 3. As you see, these are repeats of what we have here. Those are filled in. So 1, 2, and 3. 3 notes left. There are actually only 3 more notes to know to complete a major scale. And how does that work? Well, what I started to think of when I was learning the fretboard from this aspect was it was kind of like constellations. This was a cluster of stars, and now there's just 3 more stars. Learn the pattern, how this constellation works in relation to this cluster, and you once again are unleashed across the entire fretboard in any direction from here. So how does that work? If we take our 1, 2, 3 theory, we have root. We have and how this works is we have 3 single boxes, and let's see how they attach to this box here. Our D note here, our number 2 here, or D, the 2, the one right after the C, is actually the farthest note away from the box at any given time. That's a helpful little tip. I'll show you what I mean. After 4, there's a 5 over here, of course. And after 5, there's a 6. Those would be the other notes available, or left, besides this box. But it gets a little bit closer to home than that. The 5 is always above the root, unless you're dealing with the string shift area. Always presents a learning problem on the guitar, but you can compensate for that if you understand it's there. So above the root we have a 5th, always. And what do you know, as proven here, the 5th of the key of C, 5, is G, the G note. E, F, G. Okay, where is the 6th? The 6th is always below the 3rd, and it's attached like that. Here's your main constellation, here's the ears. The 2 is always out here. Let me show you where else how the 2 joins up. The 2 always connects to the 6th, and then from there the M is, or I'm sorry, the 5. You'll find out why I call that an M in a future lesson. Mixolydian is the hint there, but the 2 and the 5, and then this pattern would start again if there were more strings on the guitar, and it would repeat on and on and on from there. And with that knowledge, if the 2 is always above or after, the 2 is the next number in line after in this procession here through the square, we know that there's a string shift to get from this string to this string, from the 3 to the 2. These 2 lower strings always shifted over, like as shown in my other video. So this 2 becomes here. Okay, on top of 2, a 5. This is an interval chart. Now you can see how your chords are made. A C major, for example, is a root, a 3rd, a 5th, and we get the root again there, because after B, hey look, B, E, that's the B, E, B, C, E, F squared. We can make that a little sloppy in there. Either C or the root, whatever you want to read. Alright, pretty straightforward. Here's half the B, C, E, F square, which happens from time to time on this E string or anywhere. E, well, it happens on the E strings. There's E and F. So look, we know all the whole notes are in there. So look, once again, we've suddenly, what appears is one of the bits, one of the pentatonic boxes involved in creating a major scale. And it goes on and on from there. We know that one of these boxes connects to the corner of this box, so that would create root 7 here. And we know we can't just make a box there because of the string shift, so we go like that. And there we got that weird shape that happens right there. Or anywhere you shift this pattern to create any major scale. We'll go over that in future lessons. But with this R, putting this R anywhere on the note you know is the note you want as your root note, and you are playing that major scale. And on and on and on and on from there. I can think of this as what I know that Dorian, or I mean Aeolian scale starts here, and Aeolian style pentatonic starts here, which includes that. Another BCEF square, lower 7R. 3 and 4 is there, 7 and R are there, 7 and R is there. What's on top of, what connects to your 3? A 6. And what do you know? It fills in the exact correct box, right in between the 6 and 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. Same whole step thing as a piano, unraveling itself here on your guitar. What's on top of a root? What was our rule? Always the fifth. What's on top of the fifth? Dorian note. Well, we all know that shifts over one. So we put the Dorian note here. I'm sorry, Dorian. 2. That's getting ahead of myself here. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, but that's a future lesson how this will break out into modes. If you can't already take off with this from there. So again, what's on top of the fifth? That faraway note, the 2. 6, 2, 5, 6, 2, 5, 2, 5. What's on top of that? A 6. What's after a 5? A 6. Wow, that's pretty amazing, huh? What's after a 6? A 7. But why did I just draw like that? Because what goes along with a 7? A root. BC, BC squared. BC must be BCEF squared. And BCEF squared, 7 root 3, 4. Whoa. Is that 4? Wrote down an R. Well, I think you can probably fill out the rest yourself from here. You've seen me do this a few times now, and you've seen everything correspond so far. I think you get that this is a way to build your scale all the way down the neck and know every interval, which gives you details on a whole lot of other information you can use as a guitarist to build chords. If I want a root, and you hear someone say, well, let's play a 6th chord. Well, let's play something with a major 5th in it. You know where you can add a major 5th quickly to the chord. Build it yourself. Go with root. And you want a 4. You want to suspend it. Put it there. You want a major 3rd. You want a minor 3rd. All that stuff. You can find it all at the mall. No, just kidding. You can find it all here with this pretty crazy box style fretboard knowledge. Enjoy.